They exiled her to die. She tamed the monster without saying a word. The villagers did not look at her as they shoved her toward the gate. It was easier that way, to pretend she had never existed. Easier to forget the pale, quiet girl with the eyes too sharp and the mouth too silent. No one in Greln Hollow trusted silence. Silence, to them, meant secrets. Secrets meant danger. And so, when the elders finally decided she was cursed, though no one could name exactly how, no voice rose to defend her. Not even her mother's. They gave her no weapon, no food, not even a cloak. Only the tatters of her shift and the long braid down her back. The gate slammed, and the lock clicked like a death knell. The hollow lay at the edge of the blackwood. Everyone knew what lived inside. The monster. Some called it a demon, others a beast. All agreed it was the reason no one dared travel beyond the trees. The girl, whose name no one cared to speak, stepped into the shadowed woods, and did not cry. The forest swallowed sound. Her bare feet sank into moss, her breath puffed in the damp air, but not a bird stirred, not a branch cracked. The silence suited her. She had never been good with words. Her thoughts lived elsewhere, deep and quiet, where others could not reach. She walked until her legs trembled, until the dark grew thicker and thicker, until she felt eyes on her. That was when it came. The monster moved like night itself, sliding from between two ancient trees. Its body was vast, fur black as coal but glimmering with streaks of silver. Its head brushed branches, its fangs caught what little light remained. Its eyes glowed like molten amber, filled with an old, terrible hunger. The girl did not scream. She simply looked at it. The monster snarled, a rumble that shook leaves loose. It lunged. She did not run. Instead, she sat on the ground, folding her legs beneath her like she had done as a child when listening to her grandmother's tales. Her hands rested on her knees. Her head tilted slightly. The monster halted, inches from her face, its breath hot and foul. Its claws gouged the earth, yet she did not flinch. Something in her stillness made it hesitate. And for the first time in centuries, the monster did not kill. Night passed. Then another. The girl remained. When hunger gnawed her belly, she plucked berries. When thirst burned her throat, she found streams. Always, the monster lingered near, circling at a distance, its eyes gleaming in the dark. She did not speak to it, she had no words. But she began to hum. Soft, tuneless sounds at first, rising and falling like wind through reeds. The forest, once lifeless, seemed to stir. Branches swayed when she hummed. The monster crept closer. One evening, as stars blinked awake, it lay down beside her. Its body was immense, its fur tangled and scarred. She reached out a hand, slow and trembling, and touched its muzzle. Warm. Alive. The monster exhaled, a sigh that shook the ground, and closed its burning eyes. The days blurred. She walked, and it followed. She hummed, and it listened. She dreamed, and it guarded her sleep. She learned the monster was not senseless rage, but loneliness shaped into flesh. Cast away long ago, bound to the blackwood by fear and stories. It had grown monstrous because that was all anyone believed it to be. But in her silence, she offered it something different. Not fear. Not hatred. Recognition. Back in Greln Hollow, whispers began. No one had heard her scream. No bones had been found. The blackwood should have devoured her, yet sometimes, faint echoes of humming drifted across the fields at night. Hunters sent to look never returned. Farmers swore they saw two glowing eyes watching from the tree line, bigger than any wolf. Fear grew. The elders declared it was her fault the cursed girl had joined with the monster. She would bring ruin to them all. And perhaps she would have stayed hidden, forgotten, if not for the fire. One summer evening, lightning split the sky and struck the hollow's granaries. Flames devoured the year's harvest. The villagers screamed, forming lines with buckets, but the fire spread faster than water could quench. Children coughed, old men fell. The hollow was dying. And then came the roar. From the blackwood, the monster surged forth like a storm given shape. Its claws tore earth, its body blotted out the stars. Villagers shrieked in terror until they saw the girl upon its back. She did not speak, but she raised her hand. The monster reared, then plunged into the inferno. Its great body smashed walls, scattering burning timbers. Its paws stamped out flames. With a sweep of its tail, it crushed collapsing roofs before they could bury the trapped. The girl slid down its side, darting through smoke. She pulled children from doorways, guided elders to safety, soot streaking her skin but her eyes steady. The monster worked beside her, until nothing but embers remained. When the fire was gone, silence fell heavier than ash. The villagers stared. Their fear was a living thing, coiling tight. Yet none could deny the truth. They were alive because of her. Still, the eldest elder raised a shaking hand. She brings the beast upon us. She commands it. What is she, if not cursed? The monster growled, low and dangerous. The girl stepped between them. Slowly, she knelt, lowering her head not in submission, but in patience. Her eyes met the elders. Calm. Waiting. And then she reached back, laying her palm upon the monster's muzzle. It stilled. No words passed her lips, but the message was clear. It is not my voice that binds it. It is trust. Days passed. Some wanted her gone again. Others argued she had saved them. The village divided. The girl, however, asked for nothing. She did not linger in their streets. She returned to the forest, the monster always at her side. Yet, when the hollow faced danger, wolves, floods, another fire, she came. Always in silence. Always with the beast. Children began to follow her to the edge of the woods, offering small gifts, flowers, polished stones, bits of bread. She accepted with a smile but never spoke. In time, the villagers stopped calling her cursed. They began calling her keeper. Years slipped by. The hollow prospered. No raiders dared attack, no plague spread far, no famine lasted long. And though they never truly lost their fear of the monster, they revered it because she had taught them it could be more than terror. She grew older. Her hair silvered. Her silence deepened. Yet the monster never left her side. When she finally lay upon her bed of moss, breath shallow, eyes soft, the beast curled around her like a shadow. She touched its fur one last time, smiled, closed her eyes. The monster lifted its head to the stars and let out a sound no one in Greln Hollow had ever heard before, half roar, half wail. A lament. The next morning, the girl was gone, and so was the beast. But in the quiet of the blackwood, if one listened closely, one could still hear humming.